Okay, I've got a question. What do a European cruise, ice skating, and lederhosen have in common?
Somehow, believe it or not, they are all key plot points in Hallmark's new countdown to Christmas movie, A Keller Christmas Vacation. And we have a lot to talk about, Josh.
We do, Jennifer, and we'll unwrap it all for you on this episode of Do You Watch What I Watch?
Sit down and watch, then have a talk with Jennifer and Josh.
Well, if you can believe it, we are back with another recap and review, this one involving three siblings all over again. We just did Three Wisest Men. Those were the Brenner brothers. Now we've got the Keller siblings. So we've got Brandon Routh in this one, also Jonathan Bennett, and Eden Sher. And if that name sounds familiar, you might have seen a TV show called The Middle. She played this character called Sue Heck. She's really great comedy actress. I think this is her first time, Jennifer, doing anything like this in a Hallmark Channel movie.
Think so, but I was so happy to see when I connected the dots that it was her that was going to be in one of these movies. I hope, not to show my cards early, I hope she's in more. She's a delight.
She is a delight. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go. So this one starts with the Waltz on the Blue Danube classical piece. I love it. And we see pics of our cast over the years in the Keller family photo album. I really like the start to this, and I'm already invested in these people from Go. So mission accomplished to whoever wound up editing this. Now we find ourselves in Germany. The mom and dad here are already there. They're kicking off the trip. They text their kids to basically say, see you soon. So we get to meet all three of these kids. First out of the gate, we meet Cal. This is played by Brandon Routh. He is a football coach in Oregon, divorced, and he's hung up on his college crush, who is still a friend, but engaged to someone else. He wants to tell her that he loves her, and a friend is like, you sure about that, bro? Yikes. I don't know that that was kind of an awkward situation for me. Yeah. What'd you think?
It wasn't a good first impression for him.
No.
I was like, oh, he's skeezy. I don't like this character. If he's going to do something like that, that's messy. Ooh, he's choosing violence.
It was messy.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. Next, we see Dylan. This is Jonathan Bennett in Phoenix. He is a top developer, not a big bad developer. He's a good developer with a longtime neurosurgeon boyfriend and planning to propose tonight. William is the boyfriend's name. He shows up to Dylan's office, almost hears these plans, and drops off some cookies before jetting back to the OR. Now we find ourselves in Denver, and we meet Emery again. This is Eden Sher. She's an aspiring photographer with a rough dating history and an even rougher professional history, very much giving black sheep vibes of the family, and she knows it. She unpacks that with her friend who wants to set her up with some guy, and she's all like, I don't know about that. We get a montage now. Cal has second thoughts. So Cal goes off to this nighttime event where he's going to see this friend that he secretly loves and all this other stuff. They're fixing to move out to Maine across the whole country. So this is his one shot to tell this woman how he feels, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, he has second thoughts when he gets there, doesn't do it. So that's sort of, we'll see how that plays out.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Dylan is at home. The boyfriend is late because of surgery that he had. He was actually the one doing the surgery, not receiving the surgery. So there you have it. In spite of all of that, boyfriend shows up, Dylan proposes, but William is weirdly not receptive to the idea of it all, and bummer. And in response to that, Dylan isn't going to break up with him, but is instead going to establish some boundaries. So some hurt feelings all the way around. More bad news follows for these kiddos. Emery lost her job. She got fired by text message. Laid off, I guess you could say. And slowly is losing her mind with the upcoming trip that she has to go on with her family. This is kind of a funny scene as she's unpacking all of this drama with her friend, because we have all been there where we've had these moments where we're like, my life is falling apart, and now I'm going to have to be around people who want details about my life, and I don't want to give them details about my life, and I'm going to have to give them details. It was very frantic, and I 100% bought the way that they wrote this particular scene here. Did you resonate with that at all, Jennifer?
For sure. She could have easily overplayed this, but I thought it was it wasn't a full-on crash out, but it was just like, ugh, the stress of the holidays. And sometimes you run into people that you may not want, yeah, like you said, may not want to give life updates if there's
No.
not good updates to give.
No,
Yeah.
no. Well, now we're in Germany. All the kids make their way to Germany, and instantly this casting plays off. I really thought they did a good job, not to show my cards, but I could believe them as siblings. Like, it really paid off
Mhm.
well. I thought for me, the chemistry is really classic sibling vibes throughout. The boys give Emery a hard time about her appearance. Dylan dodges questions about William. They check in on what is basically a Viking river cruise, except we're not calling it Viking here. We're calling it Polera, which sounds very sophisticated. And we meet Noah, who is the kind cruise director. There's something called a champagne kickoff, which, Jennifer, I honestly think needs to be a segment on our show, a champagne kickoff at the start of every episode. Can you imagine? Clink!
That would be amazing. Yes, more to
Maybe
come.
we'll save it for the watchies for sure. Noah helps Emery to her room, notices this big expensive camera hanging around her neck, and they chat a little bit about that. There's some flirty banter. I'm here for it. I really like early on this vibe of Noah and Emery as a couple. It's cutie McCuterson for me. The boys check into their rooms. Cal has a neighbor who spots him and begins to plot to set him up with his granddaughter, Felicity. More to come on that. Over champagne, Noah unveils a team gingerbread contest, toasts the cruise, and now it's time for dinner. Cal is on time, everyone else is late, and neighbor Ron, again, the old guy staying close to Cal, sees an opportunity to force Felicity onto him. She is rather embarrassed about this and explains this is how he is since her divorce. So both of them are divorced. Pushy but lovely is how she describes him to her. Him to him, I should say. How Felicity describes her granddad to Cal. A lot of people in this one. Now it is the big gingerbread contest. They are supposed to make their gingerbread structures very architectural and very European inspired, which sounds incredibly challenging. And they only have an hour. Again, the time constraints on these gingerbread contests we're getting in 2025's Countdown to Christmas, stress inducing for me. And really, it is all about me when I watch these.
It is about you. They need to run these things by you. Yeah, we just talked about this last week in the Finding Mr. Christmas episode. They had a challenge, and the guys, the little Hallmark hunks, had 35 minutes, which is a random number, to decorate their gingerbread house. But they had glue guns. Now, the Keller, I almost said Brenner family. The Keller family, I think it needed to be edible, though. I don't think they used glue guns, did they?
They did not. They did not. And instead, the family fights over who should take the lead. Mom tries to offer some wisdom to divvy up the responsibilities. Soon enough, we get a montage. Loved it. They had an awesome structure, but Cal fat fingers it. The whole thing collapses, and they wind up with, I thought, pretty creative pivot here. The ruins of Pompeii. I LOL'd when I saw that at the end of the table. I thought it was great.
So funny.
Noah then leads them on a tour of a German market. Mom wants them to check out the Bavarian dancers. Dylan calls William. He wanders off. He picks up the phone, calls William. He's looking very sad on the phone. And Mom and Dad definitely know something is up. Emery is off taking pictures, and the Sibs sip some hot mulled wine. It has a German name that I dare not try to pronounce here on the podcast, but it is certainly alcoholic because you know who, Dylan, really starts to feel it pretty quickly. And we learn that Dad, in his past, was an Olympic speed skater. Nice little tidbit here. So what are you thinking about the family dynamics of the Kellers here, Jennifer?
I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad to see Brandon Routh in another Hallmark movie. I think I've only seen him in the 9 Lives of Kitten Christmas Allergic Itchy Eyes movies for me. And happy to see Eden Sher. Always happy to see Jonathan Bennett. And I'm like you. I thought they really paired them well together. I wasn't really as invested in the parents at this point because I feel like we didn't see them as much. Like they were
Mm-mm.
there, but we were definitely focusing more on the siblings thus far. What about you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here for it. Again, I think that they really play siblings quite well. The banter is good. The chemistry seems good. And I like these budding romances that we see sort of developing around the characters. Speaking of, Cal runs into Felicity. Turns out Felicity and her grandpa won the gingerbread contest, and we get some flirty banter as a result. She says she didn't mean it to be flirty, but too late, it is flirty. After all, this is Hallmark Channel. What are you talking about? Dylan, meantime, is getting hammer-schmammered on the German mulled wine situation, clearly coping about all of this relationship mashugana he's going through with William, and he gets pulled up on stage by a very friendly German woman. We'll call her Hilda. I think that is actually her name, for some comedic folk dancing. They hurry back to the boat because they're all a little... Dylan is a little bit tipsy. The other two are just having a good time, presumably. And so they have to hurry back to the boat in a brief brief moment of peril. They miss it. They missed the boat. The boat left the dock, left them behind. They're stuck there in a village. And so as a result, the Sibs have to find a place to sleep and a way to get to the next dock on the journey. Mom, as any mom would be in this situation, is capital S stressed about the whole thing. This family bonding trip is a gigantic fail at this point. Not at all what Mom had envisioned this to be. What would you do? Well, number one, have you ever been on a cruise before, Jennifer? Okay. What would you do if you missed the port departure situation? Would you freak out?
Yes, I have a story.
Oh,
And I don't
go.
know if you've heard. I have a
No.
story. I've been on 2 cruises in my life. The second one was with some of our mutual friends,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them had a family friend who owned a developing cacao plantation in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
And we did not want to do, like, half of the group was going to do this super active excursion, and of course that's not my speed. So she was like, "Oh, my dad's friend will come and pick us up at the port," because we had a long time to be at the DR and no plans. So she's like, she'll come pick us up. She'll take me, you, your now husband, Andy, and another friend. So there were 4 of us, and she will drive you, and you can tour the cacao plantation. She'll feed us lunch, and then take you back. Okay, great. We did that, and we went in her Jeep on the streets of the Dominican Republic that had not the best upkeep, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point our Jeep got stuck going up a hill, and we had to kind of heave-ho it and like take things out of the back of the Jeep or truck to get the thing up to the cacao plantation. We go, we have a great time. I don't know what we ate. Couldn't tell you. I ate some Pepto-Bismol tablets with it, just just in case, like a little, just like a
Cautionary.
dinner mint, precautionary Pepto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was bitten by some sort of a bug that my body did not like, and I had a ring. It was to the point where I was like, there was a ring growing, and I traced it with an ink pen later to see if it got out of the ring, and then it did. And I didn't really have a plan B. Like, it's growing, but I didn't really know what else to do. It ended up being fun. But we went to leave because it was time for her to take us back to the boat. This was a bigger ship than this one, but it's time to go back. She can't find her keys.
Mm-hmm.
And we had walked an entire cacao plantation.
Yeah.
Numerous options of wilderness and things of where these keys could be. She finally finds them. We go down. There's like traffic. There's mayhem. We're bumping along. There's roads washed out. We literally got back. She dropped us off, and we ran to the boat because I easily could still be in the Dominican Republic today doing some kind of selling some wares of some sort. It was a close call. And so all of this stressed me out.
Triggering.
I've been there. And it's scary when you're like, oh shoot, what am I gonna do if we don't get back? We didn't have phones. We didn't, didn't really have a plan B. So
What a nightmare.
moral of the story, my bug bite was fine, and there you go. All
There you
good.
go. So, in this brief moment of peril, these siblings strategize. They take Dylan's impromptu dance partner, again, her name's Hilda. They take her up on an offer for a family member's off grid hotel on the outskirts of town. Very rustic. Barn turned into a hotel, basically. There's one room, hostel adjacent, exactly. There's one room left and one bed. And the siblings all fight for it. And what do you know? Emery pulls the girl card and says, what would our parents say about chivalry if you were to kick your baby sister out of the bed? And so she gets the bed. And as they're drifting to sleep, Emery wonders why this whole trip was so last minute with their folks and why their folks were so insistent on everyone going, because it's been several years since they've done a family trip like this. So stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
The Sibs take off on a motorcycle next morning with a sidecar. I thought this was really funny. I love this, through the German countryside.
Jonathan Bennett is still in his lederhosen at this point.
Love it. Love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And a helmet and goggles.
Whole 9 yards. Now, the folks are having tea on the cruise ship, and we see some weakness from Dad when he pours. And I can see where this is going. And Felicity and her grandfather saddle up with them to chat. So there's sort of this relationship, friendship building between the Keller parents and Felicity's grandpa. I love it. Now, the Sibs are having some
Wait, have
trouble.
you been on a cruise before?
Never.
Oh.
And I really want to go on a cruise, and I think we're planning our 15th wedding anniversary trip in a couple of years. And so I think that's what we're going to do, if I can convince Lauren. Lauren is not a big cruise fan, so we'll see. We might do something else.
The pros are, once you're there, I mean, it's all taken care of already. And, I think it matters who you go with. Like, when we went with our friends, other than the little Dominican Republic snafu, we did all the cheesy stuff. We did bingo. We went to shows. We did, all the touristy
all the
stuff
things.
that there is to
Yeah.
do. But, I think if you're going to go with your wife, so that's a fun time. But, if you were stuck going with people who don't travel well and maybe wear on you, there's not a lot of space to escape, even if it's on a big boat.
Yeah. So the Sibs are having trouble following maps and directions in Germany. Back on the cruise, the boys, again, this is Mr. Keller and Felicity's grandpa, are playing cornhole, and there's trouble at the dock. The ship needs to leave 4 hours earlier than we originally thought. It's going to be tough for the Keller kids to make it there, especially when their motorbike runs out of fuel. Whoa. So Cal, while they're trying to figure all of this out, mentions his love interest is moving across the country. Dylan and Emery are supportive, and they speed off thanks to Emery's mad motorbike skills when they learn of the change in the schedule. So they are zipping to get back. They make it in splendid fashion. And as they're boarding the cruise ship, what do you know? They turn around and William has seemingly materialized out of nowhere. William wasn't going to go on the cruise.
You mean the guy that Jonathan Bennett proposed to and he didn't accept? That guy?
That guy. That guy just shows up. And now he's going to go on the cruise with everybody. Okay. Dylan is not having it, and he holds the line, and he decides he's going to bunk with his little sister, Emery. Okay. Cal runs into Felicity at the hot cocoa bar, which just sounds like a lot of fun. I could really go for a hot cocoa bar these days. They flirt a little bit on the cruise ship, and next Noah is flipping through Emery's photos, and he's very impressed. His marketing photographer dropped out, quit his job, and she's saving the day. And so Noah likes Emery's photos, and spoiler, also likes Emery, and Noah wants to hire her. Contract and all, pay her, which I thought was great. Love it. Dylan runs into William, but it's dinner time. Cal calls a Keller Kids Conference, and they go unpack what's been going on and talk some sense into Dylan. Emery tells them she lost her job back home, and the boys give her a hard time about the blossoming romance that she has with Noah. Now we're in Salzburg. Noah is leading the tour and gives them cash for the upcoming white elephant gift exchange to buy some cute little trinket at the market. They split up, and so do Felicity and her grandpa. Dylan and William are off strolling and chatting about the relationship. Fences are being mended. Emery runs into mom and dad. They're very supportive of her budding photography interest. I thought this was a really well-written, nice scene, very heartfelt here. I really liked these actors that they had playing mom and dad here. I thought they were great. Dylan is off shopping and spots a Christmas tree ring. So think a ring, but with a gigantic Christmas tree on it. Okay, it's a choice.
I'm wearing it now. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
there you go.
It
Clearly,
kind of looked like the tree that you have behind you, honestly.
it does. Think that, but on like a ring, like that. Yeah,
Subtle.
exactly. Subtle, very. But again, Hallmark could sell that ring and probably sell gobs of them. Just saying, just an idea. Yeah. Anyway, clearly that ring is going to come back up. So there you go. Cal runs into Felicity again, and a flirty Austrian woman tries to nab him rather aggressively. Says, hey, I could show you around. Tonight, I could show you some things that you may not have seen before, that whole thing. And Felicity swoops in and I know. Felicity swoops in and poses as his lady, and this gesture ratchets up the spark factor for these two big time. Dylan and William run into each other again, and we hear Caroler singing Silent Night in German. Emery and Noah are making eyes at each other during this impromptu concert. Cal gives Emery a hard time about it, as any big brother would. Cal and Felicity stroll the deck back on the cruise ship and flirty talk. The next morning, we learned her grandma died recently, and this was Grandpa's effort to get back out there and restart his life. They both admit that this cruise has helped them do the very same thing with their romantic lives. Now it's time for the big white elephant gift exchange. Montage time. It is all fine and dandy until it's Dad's turn. He picks up his gift and he almost falls. And this was heartbreaking because it's like the movie is so up in this moment, and it comes emotionally crashing down. The music changes, the whole tone changes, and it's time for a Keller family conversation during which Dad reveals to the kids that he has Parkinson's and the impacts, the sale of the house, not getting to ice skate in Vienna because that's what he was going to do because, of course, he won some Olympic medal in Vienna years ago. That's part of the reason they're doing all of this. My cry count was climbing, suffice to say. You covered your head, Jennifer, when you heard that. Did this get you emotionally?
I did not cry, but I was emotional. I will say I saw a spoiler accidentally ahead of time. Because I do, dabble in some of these Hallmark movie Facebook pages and things. And when you get on Facebook, like I'll go on Facebook, I'll get annoyed by something and then I hop out. But it shows you, it usually shows you the one thing you don't want to see. So as soon as I'd gotten in, I'd seen that people were talking about this movie and that he had Parkinson's. So, I mean, they were alluding to it anyways early on. But I did not, I mean, it's just, it just pulled the rug out from under you in this moment because
I know.
I like to pretend that sad things don't happen at Christmas. And obviously that's not always the case, as my life and others have shown. Just life is lifing and medical things happen, whether it's Christmas time or not, whether you're on a vacation or not. And just, it was heartbreaking. But I think it was really well done. That this was like, okay, we can't wait any longer. We have to sit down and tell the kids what's going on. And their reactions to it in return seemed very realistic, and just that they're trying to process all this. I
know.
So good.
So the parents let on that they have had some help along the way. Now, what you need to know is that Dylan has suspected that something's been up with William. And in this moment, Dylan realizes that this is the secret that William's been keeping from him, holding back. Dylan finds him. They talk about it. They make up. Really nice scene here. Very well written. Really felt true to life. Dylan then jets off to find his siblings because he's got an idea. Felicity and Cal are unpacking things at the bar. This is, again, a different kind of a grown-up conversation. Really well written in its own right. She offers to help him, which is very kind. Now we see Noah singing at the piano in German. Emery's looking on longingly. He finishes the song and she breaks down in tears and hugs him. Again, we're seeing the fallout of all of this, and the boys swoop in and they're off to Cal's room. Dylan's got a plan that could help long term, so stay tuned. He's chatting about this with his not so big bad developer team about an idea. Soon enough, we're in Vienna. The parents apologize to William about how awkward things got, and they feel bad that they sort of put him in this position with their son.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Noah and Emery meet up. Her outlook has certainly improved, especially since he has supported her photography dream. She wonders whether, hey, you do a lot of traveling. This is your travel company. Have you ever been to Portland? That's where she's going to move to. She's going to leave Denver, go back to Portland. She wants to know if he's
she's
been
going
there.
to move back home, right, to help take care of
To
Dad.
help take him.
Mm-hmm.
And invites him on a date. Okay, good for you. He one-ups her, asks her on a date, and plants a kiss on her. So, yay. I was excited about that. Family meets up. Dylan unveils his plan for a village specially designed for those with Parkinson's. So, yay again. Okay.
We love accessibility.
We love accessibility. The family is off enjoying the sights in Austria. Dylan and William chat about what's next for them while they're on a Ferris wheel. What do you know? They propose to one another. Yay again. Here we go. We're just kind of putting the bow on a lot of these sort of plots we've been following. Cal and Felicity are off chatting. Romance is clearly romancing, and they kiss too. So more yay. Here we go. The family. I mean, it is a little yada yada here, but I mean, I'm here for it. I'll let it slide. Yeah. The family watches the sights in Austria. They're all clearly in their feels. They're all looking around and smiling at each other. Then they suddenly realize Dad isn't there. And I'm like, oh no, what has happened to Dad?
He's gone.
I know. Smash cut to Dad, and he is at the ice rink in Austria. He wants to be out on that ice so bad, and he's going to do it. Parkinson's and all. He's going to get out there on the ice, but he's not going to do it alone, because here come the boys. The boys are there. They grab him by the elbows. They all go out onto the ice together. The whole family's out there skating around in Vienna, doing the whole thing, being a family in love, being totally nice to one another, totally lovely. And I'm crying again.
It's time for Gold or Coal.
Okay, friends, it is time for our Gold or Coal segment. Some review it as the best segment around. We just made that up, but, highly acclaimed. This time, if there is more gold, it's going to be smooth sailing. And if there's more coal, it's rough waters. And if it's a tie, it's just a meh. Merry Christmas. Josh, I'm coming to you first.
All right, so I will start with some gold. I think at the end of the day, this movie was really so well cast. I loved that these three really felt like siblings. I loved that the parents felt authentic and true. And even Felicity's grandpa felt like a grandfatherly type character that fit with everything. It all just felt very thoughtful in terms of the way it was casted. I love all of these characters and thought they did a good job. So gold for me.
I will give some gold. This movie had a lot of sad, heavy moments, but also plenty of ha-has and hee-hees and lighthearted fun moments too. And I think they balanced it really well, because it could have easily been a drudge and really sad. And I think, as soon as they hit you with this, like for instance, Dad has Parkinson's, then they all gather in Brandon Routh's room to kind of talk, all the siblings. They look up and Brandon Routh has like hung up all these like stars on the ceiling of his room. And they're like, "You've decorated?" He's like, "Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?" Like, just little things like that to kind of bring you back up. So I think they they managed all of the emotions and the levity of it all.
I agree. More gold for me. This movie's really pretty. Like, obviously, we're in Germany. We're doing the travel thing. It wasn't green screened. We were very, very clearly where we were. And I love when Hallmark isn't afraid to spend the money to do it the right way. And it felt like they definitely did with this one. I loved seeing these sites. It is, as we have often said, a gigantic tourism commercial for this part of the world and really makes me want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, one of my golds is that scene when was it a heart? It's like a giant light up heart at the end
Mm-hmm.
and it goes along across them all. Was
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful. I would stand there for days, probably just in awe and watch it go back and forth. Like, I just thought that's such a beautiful thing, and it was beautifully shot, and it gave me Christmas warm fuzzies. Unlike the Great Christmas Snow-In that had a lot of CGI and literally the like Netflix fireplace special on a flat screen TV in a
Yeah.
fireplace
No.
box.
No.
Man, if you
Yeah.
didn't listen to that review, go listen to it. Okay.
Yeah. My last gift is going to be gold. I really thought the music throughout this movie was really spot on. There were some great original songs. I kind of want the
Mhm.
soundtrack to this movie. It all was very Christmassy, but not throwaway Christmassy. And I really appreciated that. So good music throughout. I thought it actually added to the movie and wasn't just
Mhm.
filler. So I noticed.
Yeah. That's great. You noticed. My last gift is gold. Come on, that last scene when dad wants to be out on the ice and those brothers take him by the arms and get him out there to check off this bucket list item for him of skating again on this ice. This is what Hallmark movies are, the heart of it, and showing families caring for one another and the love and the Christmas and all the things. Obsessed. It was so good. It was so well done.
Mm, agreed. Definitely all the feels here. So at the end of the
Mhm.
day, what do you know? Another week, another one with 6 gold. And so we say this one is absolutely smooth sailing, certainly worth the watch. I loved this movie. I thought it was really great. And I think Eden Sher was certainly a standout. I didn't know what to expect from Sue Heck coming
Yeah.
into this.
She
But
was
my
definitely
goodness,
could have been typecast easily, but yeah.
easily, but very kind of a quirky female lead in a Hallmark movie to a certain extent. Kind of remind me a little bit of Katie Finlay to a certain extent.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
loved her in this. I thought she was great, and I would love to see her in another one of these down the line.
Me too. So we put out the question to you guys. What did y'all think of this movie? And listener Nadley said, loved Keller Family Vacation. My question is, what was Josh's cry count?
3.
Trademark. 3 in one movie?
Yeah. Mhm.
Ugh, oh boy, that's exhausting. And then Leslie Ann said, I thought Keller Family Vacation was really cute. Loved Sue from the middle. Really liked the European River Cruise setting. Pretty, funny, and heartfelt. And we agree with friend of the pod, been on an episode before, Leslie Ann. Shout out. So
For sure.
there you have it, folks. Another episode is in the books. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and watching wherever you're getting us from.
Ah. Special thanks, as always, to our good friend Nick Shores for our amazing theme song. And of course, to each and every one of you for watching us on our YouTube channel or listening on your favorite podcast platform. Do us a favor, go ahead and like, subscribe, write a 5-star review, tell a friend, help us to grow our podcast family as Countdown to Christmas and the Christmas season rolls on.
That's right. Next time, we're going to hit you with another Hallmark movie. This time, it's called Tidings for the Season. And here's the plot summary. A serious TV newscaster's life changes when he meets his young superfan and the boy's hardworking single mom. As he embraces positive holiday stories, romance blooms, but a career opportunity forces him to choose between ambition and love. We will have much to discuss, but until then,
May your days be merry and bright. We'll see you next time.